Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Achilles Twins Travel Show. You are listening to the local series where we talk about the country and its culture with locals. In today's episode, we'll be talking about Istanbul, Turkey. And one of the most confusing facts about Istanbul is that it's not the capital of Turkey. It used to be the capital of three great empires, the Roman, Byzantine, and the Ottoman. But for some reason, the capital of modern Turkey is Ankara. So please enjoy our conversation with our guest, Hakan Agda. Merhaba Hakan. How are you doing?
Merhaba, thank you. I'm fine. If to say in Turkish, teşekkür ederim, iyiyim. Thank you. Welcome, by the way.
Oh, afiyet olsun. So,
that's for bon appetit. But anyhow,
okay.
thank you. I'm drinking my coffee, so no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you for the coffee and for this interview.
I'm so happy that having you here in my humble house, humble place.
Yeah.
It's an honor to host people like you, so intelligent, so bright, so open-minded, and so brave to travel around the world.
Oh,
I really admire you, and thank you again giving
thank you
me
so much.
the
Thank you.
chance to host you here.
Wow. Uh, Hakan, could you please talk about yourself, introduce yourself for our listeners?
Of course, I'm 47 years old. I was born and raised in central Turkey, which we call Central Anatolia, and in a city called Sivas, which is like have 300,000 inhabitants.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatively a small place, and I live in Istanbul since 2000. I'm a lawyer, and I'm doing law since like 23 years. I studied law in Ankara, the capital, which is not the loveliest city of Turkey, but still the capital. Anyway, I live in Istanbul now more than 21 years.
And since Turkey is so big, I think in this episode we'll be only talking about Istanbul, right? Oh, because there's so much to share about Istanbul and
Yes, but
so many
Istanbul is a
people.
micro Turkey, actually.
Ah,
Everything, there's a saying about New York City that something you can find in New York City, you can find anywhere in the world, or the vice versa.
yeah.
The same for Istanbul.
Mm-hmm.
Istanbul consists of people from all over Turkey.
Okay.
For instance, my hometown I was mentioning, it's like 300,000 people live in the city center. All the whole province is 600,000. But in
Yeah.
Istanbul, we are 750,000 people from my province.
Mm.
So it's like this from all provinces of Turkey, you can
Yeah.
find people. And in addition to that, we have now around 1 million Syrians and maybe another 500,000 immigrants or refugees or workers from all around, especially surrounding countries, Eastern Europe and Central Asia and Middle East. Istanbul reflects all aspects of Turkey, I would say.
I see. Okay.
Not in terms of climate and geography, of course, but in terms of culture, demographics, food. You can find anything you want in Istanbul. So, knowing Istanbul will give a really, really wide range of ideas about all Turkey.
Oh, I see. And how people greet each other, handshake or hugging, kissing, how?
Depends on, again, the social status and the background of people. Mostly people do shake hands and men kiss each other, which is weird for
How many
some
times?
cultures.
3?
Two.
Two, okay.
Two. But if you're from a religious background, mostly don't kiss, but hit your foreheads to each other, not cheek to cheek, but forehead to forehead. Or some people just hug each other from a religious background. Again, if the ladies are from a religious or conservative background, you don't shake hands with ladies. Just pay attention not to shake, to show your hand to a girl or woman with a hijab, because probably she doesn't shake hands.
Yeah.
Well, but the most common way of greeting is shaking hands. Not during the pandemic, of course. Not during the pandemic. We are just, fist hitting our
Okay.
fist each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
And you say merhaba, right?
Again, depending on your conservative, if you're conservative or not, the most common way to greet people is selamun alaikum.
Uh-huh.
Not Assalamu alaikum is for Arabic, but Salamun alaikum in Turkish, or Merhaba. But mostly Salamun alaikum and Merhaba we use. You can use other greetings like good morning, good evening, but most common is Merhaba and Salamun alaikum.
Like good morning, günaydın.
Günaydın, yes.
Okay. And what do you think? What might surprise foreigners if they visit Istanbul?
First, well, I hosted many people from many countries. The first thing they were surprised was the azan that they hear 5 times a day, the call to prayer. In most Islamic countries, you will hear this sound, but in Turkey, it's very high, even in the morning. Some of my guests were, they were shocked when they heard somebody yelling from the minaret with a melody in 4 o'clock in the morning. The first thing maybe they will see a lot of mosques here. I've been to some Arab countries and Iran, which is supposed to be an Islamic country, Islamic Republic. They don't even this much mosques, even in Iran or in Saudi Arabia. I don't know, maybe from the Ottoman Empire, we have this culture of building mosques every corner.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see tons of mosques when you come to Turkey first, and you will hear azan 5 times a day. Second thing about social life was we have cafe-like places which only men go. You will not see women there. I mean, when men go there, they play cards, they play other table games, they drink tea, they smoke outside. It's forbidden to smoke inside. But women do not go there traditionally. I mean, it's not because they're allowed, but they're not tolerated, I would say. This is the second thing that I got reaction from my guests or friends. Third thing, maybe that Istanbul is extremely crowded when they come to Istanbul. This is just for Istanbul. I think these things may surprise people. That's all I think.
Yeah.
The rest is everything that you can see in a Middle East country. I mean, if they've been to Middle East, you've been to Middle East, you will not be that surprised about things that you see in Turkey. But well, the another, I can add something. Some people who come to Turkey to think that they will see a completely Middle Eastern country may be surprised how some areas are really European.
Oh, yeah.
But some areas are, of course, typical Middle East and Asian country. But on the other hand, some things that you will see is quite not different from a European country.
Yeah. And about the second thing, surprising thing you said, cafe only for men. How do you know that it's for men?
Because
There are only men.
well, you see that there's only men
Yeah,
inside.
so you need to go inside, enter.
No, you can see outside. There are windows and
There's a mustache or...
of course, now mustache is not that popular anymore. Beard is popular now.
Okay.
Okay. We have cafes, like European international style cafes, which is written cafe in English or French. But these are called kahvehane, or we don't call them cafe. We call them kahvehane, which means literally coffee house. They're not in like fancy neighborhoods or not very central areas, but inside the residential areas, inside the like average neighborhoods, you will see this kind of places, which is frequented only by men because these are residential areas, not touristic areas, and men go there just to escape from their homes and not to disturb their wives. And mostly retired people go there. They read their newspapers, they socialize with other people, and they play games. That's all.
Ah, in Tajikistan we call it choykhona. Choykhona.
Yeah, we call it kahvehane, the same thing. Yeah. We can say also chai evi, which means chai tea house again. These are also for men only. I mean, there's no, of course, it's not forbidden for women, but women don't go. That's all. It's just a very certain and not even named segregation, which is very special, peculiar to maybe Turkish society. That's all.
Is there anything similar for women?
No.
Why? Probably house, right? They can invite their
Yeah,
friends.
exactly. Women do, what they do is, there's a tradition among women mostly. every month they collect money
Yeah.
between each other. Like 10 different women come together. They will say, okay, each month each person will put $100 or $200, depends. And then every week they gather in one woman's house, or every month, or every two weeks, and the hosting lady makes cleaning during 1 week
Wow.
and cooks. So she hosts like 10 other or 20 other women at home. Yeah. So this is the way that they're coming together.
I see. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about my generation of women if they're not working. But the new generation is not like that. I mean, they go out cafes, they're mostly educated people. But since I'm from the village and from a rural area, so I know the main profile of Turkish people in the villages or in the small cities.
Yeah.
Istanbul is, of course, different. I mean,
We have something like that in Tajikistan, and we call it GAP. So
Hmm.
we gather, it's like word. Yeah. Yeah. So people
Gap.
gather and talk and share.
In Turkish, we call it, sorry, gün, which means day. So it's my day.
Okay.
For instance, if you talk to, for instance, my uncle's wife, I'm talking to her. She's, oh, it's my day today, so I cannot
Don't bother
accept
me.
any. Yeah, don't bother me. I have to make preparations. Yeah, that's how we call it. Yeah.
I think another surprising thing would be to see so many cats.
Ah, cats and dogs.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of
Yes.
cats yesterday.
Street cats, street dogs. Yes.
Are they people's cats or?
No, no, they belong to everyone.
Oh,
They're street cats.
and people feed them, right?
Yes. Well, until 20 years ago, people were killing them, hitting them. But now, after these animal movements, people got the conscience that, okay, they're living things. The laws are not good in Turkey about protecting the animals because the animals are still, or pets are still considered as property, not an individual thing. So if you, let's say, kill a dog of someone, you will just pay money because it's a property. But now they made a new law, so it's punishable now by prison. You can be put in a prison if you harm a dog. The mindset of people change a lot after, especially the social media and Twitter and other Facebook and Instagram. Now people feed the cats, feed the dogs in the streets. Especially the dogs are controlled by the municipalities, and there are special houses that they care of these animals. But yes, they don't belong to anybody. They belong to the streets.
Yeah, and could you please also talk about bargaining? Because not in the supermarket, but
Yeah.
on the street, it seems like if they say something is 100 Turkish lira, it's not
Yes.
100. You can start from
For
10.
tourists, unfortunately, in touristic places, especially, well, this is something that I hate, especially when a tourist wants to make shopping in a place which bargaining is extremely popular. I think you should start with half of the price. I have a funny experience about this in the Grand Bazaar. Even we are Turkish, think about this. We wanted to buy a kaftan, old Ottoman women's dress, for a Spanish lawyer. We wanted it as a souvenir to when we were going to a meeting.
Yeah.
Because she had done us a very good favor in terms of business. Anyway, we went to the Grand Bazaar, and the guy told us, let's say the price of the kaftan was 800 liras.
Yeah.
And my colleague, she is a good bargainer. I think after 2 hours, we bought that kaftan for 200 liras, like quarter price. And even think about this, we are Turkish, and we speak Turkish. We are apparently from Istanbul. And I was thinking, okay, if we were tourists, what would happen? Probably the price will start from 2,000, and the tourist will be happy if she or he bought it 1,500 liras.
Wow.
Yeah, this is something I really, really hate about Eastern societies, that you have to bargain for some things. But I don't bargain because I mostly shop. Well, in the market, public market, there's no bargaining. Everything is written, or in the markets, supermarkets. But in some shops, especially in touristic areas,
Like Grand Bazaar.
Grand Bazaar is, yes, it's a very bad example, which is not good. I mean, that's a wonderful place. Normally, it could be the best shopping place in the world if they had managed it in a good way. not this way.
Oh, it's good to know.
So I recommend you keep away from places that you have to bargain.
Yeah, yesterday you said about the Turkish bath, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit different. So, can you talk about that?
Yes, Turkish bath is a still popular thing in our culture, like barber shops. We go to barbers for shaving, for haircuts. For instance, myself, even I'm a bald person, I go to my barbers twice a month,
Oh,
and sometimes for shaving, sometimes for haircut. This is our one of best traditions. I think I like it. The second is bath, Turkish bath. Of course, we don't call them Turkish baths. We just call them hamam because it's already Turkish. It is not like fantasied in Oriental images. I think it's more like a Roman bath. You go to an open area where there are like faucets and taps that you can wash yourself. There are no cabins. It's open, an open area, big space, spacious room. In the middle of that spacious area, there's a we call it stone, but how can I say? It's like a big table made of marble, which is hot. You just lie down on it just to have some sweat. And there's, saunas, which is not Turkish culture, in fact, imported from Finland, but still a good thing, or steam room. In traditional Turkish baths, there are no steam rooms or saunas, but they're now added after these things. I mean, with the effect of maybe European culture or international culture. The most significant aspect of Turkish bath is, massages and rubbing.
yeah.
It is simply when you sweat enough, your skin is, soft.
Yeah.
So the guy, I'm mentioning guy because we are separate. We don't have any mixed baths. It's not acceptable. I mean, this is something unbelievable for us. Only men and only women. For some days, women. We have mixed baths. I mean, one bath can serve, let's say, Monday, Tuesday only women, and the other days only men. Or bath, the Turkish bath can have two separate buildings, one for women, one for men. And the person who is rubbing you or giving you massages is always the same sex, not other gender. It's very relaxing, and sometimes, okay, when I tell about massage, don't think something very soft. It's
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've seen the video.
the softer level of breaking your bones
Yeah.
is called massage. And the most important thing, you have to rest at least half an hour after the hammam experience. Otherwise, you will get sick because your body cannot adjust itself. And we mostly drink tea after the hammam or soda. These are traditional things that we drink.
You have it inside the hammam, or?
Yes, after you leave, you can also you can have it inside. You can ask someone to bring some tea or soda inside the hammam. We don't eat, but I heard that women eat inside the hammam too. I'm not sure. I've never been to a women's hammam.
Yeah.
But on the movies, we see that they take food to the hammam too. But I don't know the women part. But I recommend. Just keep away from touristic ones. I recommend if someone ever comes to Turkey, recommend to make a search on the internet. The most important thing will be cleanness, and the price, because some touristic hammams can be really expensive. For instance, the hammam that I go once a month in my neighborhood is a clean one, small one, and I pay $10, including everything, like the bath thing, the massages and everything, 90 liras or 100 liras.
Okay.
But the touristic ones, you spend, I think, something like $50 or $60, something like that. So it's 5 times, 6 times more expensive than an average hammam.
But you have the same thing there, right?
Of course, it's the same.
And even foreigners can go to your local.
Of course, everybody can go.
Okay.
Well, in the Ottoman time, it was forbidden for especially Christians going to Muslim hammams, but now there's no problem. Everyone can go to any hammam. Of course, there's a chance that you will be cheated if they know that you're a foreigner. They may want more money for the massage and the rubbing, but I recommend again to go there with a local.
Okay, I see. Yeah, since we are in Turkey right now, Hassan and I, and it would be good for us to know, is there anything that is considered rude here but normal in some other countries? Maybe something like, I've seen in a video, they say that to look into somebody's eyes for more than 2 seconds is a little bit rude. Maybe not in Istanbul, but some other parts.
I mean, it's not rude, but it's be a little bit suspicious. I mean, why are you looking me in the eyes? That's
Yeah.
like everywhere. Normally, we are in eye contact and we are touching people. I mean, we touch each other a lot, not like European countries.
Mm.
The relationships and social convention is more close here. Sometimes we complain about it. It's too much. I mean,
Oh,
too much touching, too much eye contact, too much intimacy in our societies. It's not like Germany. People are, always shoulder to shoulder. You push people, push you. You push people sometimes. It's not a European society. It's definitely Asian in Turkey. It's not. It will not be considered rude. What will be considered rude or inappropriate will be showing public affection, especially if you're with your girlfriend or boyfriend. I mean, kissing too much. Kissing is okay, but showing too much affection, too much
like French
intimacy.
kiss.
Oh, of course, that will be too much. Or people are extremely sensitive about religion and national values here. So just be careful if you're talking about like national issues and try not to use the word Kurdistan here. And also don't insult religious values or Atatürk because he's the founder of Turkey, and for some part of the society, he is like a religion.
Oh,
So anything against him can be considered extremely rude and sensitive issues. Also, religion is a big issue here, and also mothers and female relatives can be a very, very dangerous issue to talk about. You shouldn't talk about someone's wife.
mm,
You shouldn't tell, "Oh, your wife is beautiful," is a reason to be to fight. Or some insulting someone's mother or female relatives can create really, really big problems. Even you are a foreigner, it may create some problems. On apart from this, it's okay. I mean, it's not different from any country.
I see.
Yeah,
So not only bad stuff, but also even if you say something good about their sister or mother, it's
you shouldn't.
you
You should
better.
better not talk about
I
female
see.
relatives. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can ask the profession or if they are doing well or not, but you shouldn't make any comment about their physical appearance, their marital status, or how you think about their, you know, about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's better not to talk. You can talk with respect, but no comment.
I see. Wow.
This is valid for Azerbaijan also, the same. Don't do this.
Okay. What are the three aspects of your culture that you would like to put in the time box for the future?
First, Turkish music, our traditional imperial music, I will say. Also, folk music,
Yeah.
but I'm mostly into the classical Turkish music, that one.
Hmm.
Because during the history, we betrayed our music a lot just because it's Ottoman. Second will be our food. I'm a food enthusiast. I like eating so much, and I like Turkish food. And maybe the third thing would be our hospitality.
Hmm.
If I would leave something behind, it will be our hypocrisy. Not only the good things, also the bad things we have.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the three aspects that I will take with me to the time capsule. Yeah,
I agree about the food. The food that you cooked yesterday and this morning, it was so good.
yeah, they are Turkish, typical Turkish food. Very, very typical
And
Turkish food.
hospitality. And the hospitality is also, people are so helpful.
We are complaining about it in Istanbul that people are not hospitable. I mean,
Maybe with foreigners, they are more.
well, Turks trust foreigners more than we trust our people.
Yeah, yeah, we have that
So it's
advantage.
always an advantage to be a foreigner in Turkey because we trust foreigners
Oh, yeah.
more than Turks because we know each other, but we don't know you, so we trust you. But we
Wow.
can understand from each other's eyes what we mean, what we intend to do.
Oh.
So it's common for all most Eastern societies. We know each other very well.
Okay. And what are the misconceptions people have about Turkey?
What Turks complain about most is I am so sorry to say this, but first of all, Turks hate to be considered as it's not just because being Arab is a bad thing, but Turks want to be known as Turks, not
Ah.
Arabs. Okay.
Okay.
Or when somebody asks, okay, do you speak Arabic? It's not a bad thing, of course. I'm proud of speaking Arabic. But, well, Turkish is our native language and we are not Arabs. And being Muslim doesn't need to be a part of, Arab culture. It's just a Muslim country,
Yeah.
like many other non-Arab Muslim societies. Turkey is one of the non-Arab Muslim societies, not countries, because Turkey is a secular country, according to the constitution. The state has no religion.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, one of the misconceptions is that people think that Turkey is not a secure country. One is that. Second is that the women has no rights in Turkey. Well, they have rights. I'm not saying that Turkey has the best place for women, but still is not bad as people imagine. It's okay. I mean, average country. It's not the best. It's not the worst. But one of the misconceptions. Also, when people come to Turkey after watching Midnight Express, they imagine Turkey like a country they see on the movies, which is not. It's an average country. It's a big country with good sides, of course, with bad sides. But you cannot just label the country with only one thing.
Yeah.
It has like many aspects that you will like or you will hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what is Midnight Express? Is that
Oh,
a
it's,
TV
it,
show?
it was a very famous movie. In the okay, you don't remember it. Okay, thank God, it's forgotten. It was the story of an American tourist who was put in Turkish prison because he was trying to smuggle drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, marijuana. It was one of the biggest propaganda about Turkey. I mean, that the Turkish prisons and the Turkey as a country. Turkish governments always wanted to try to change the image of Turkey, which is seen on that movie.
Yeah, okay.
Thank God that is forgotten now.
Yeah. So if somebody's coming to Turkey, don't watch that.
They can watch. They can watch. I mean, it's just a movie, no problem. I mean, I'm not the champion of my country. I will not defend my country for anything.
Yeah.
We have good things. We have bad things. This is just a normal country. I mean, that people
Yeah,
live.
like everywhere.
Yeah, we are lucky that we have three seas around, and we have mountains, we have sea, we have cold climate, we have good climate, we have good people, we have horrible people. So, but it's a fun place to live.
Yeah. What is the best time to come to Turkey in terms of maybe the weather, traditions?
Well, the weather is nice after May. I mean, everywhere in Turkey. In southern Turkey, it's always nice. It's always sunny.
Yeah.
And also for southern Turkey's best time is May, maybe April, because after June it will be extremely hot and humid. But for central Turkey, for Istanbul, I like May and June and September a lot. It's the best season because it's not that hot, it's not that humid. Depending on what place you're going to visit, but you can visit in any season because the winter is nice in some areas, summer is nice in some areas, spring is nice everywhere. Everywhere is nice in spring. In September again, all places will be nice. Well, I'm a summer and spring person, so I don't like winter. Winter I don't recommend, especially central Turkey will be extremely cold. Most of Turkey will be cold, except the coastal areas. So you can visit Turkey anytime except winter. But if you like skiing, you can come in winter too.
And can you please also explain the thing that you explained us yesterday about Anatolia and the Asian part
Yeah,
you call?
Turkey is okay. Turkey is located on two continents,
Yeah.
Asia and Europe. Only 5% of Turkey is in Europe, which is we call Trakya
Trakya.
or European Turkey. And the Asian part is the biggest part of Turkey is in Asia, which is called Anatolia. We call it Anadolu. So in Turkey, we never use the word Asia for Asian side of Istanbul or Asian part of Turkey. We always use the term Anatolia. And for European side, we said European side.
Mm-hmm.
But the name of the peninsula in the European part of Turkey is in fact Trakya.
Okay.
Yeah.
And right now we are in Trakya.
We are in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't say. Well, technically it's Trakya, but in Turkey, when we speak about Trakya, we mention the European part except Istanbul again.
Oh.
Because when we are talking European side of Istanbul, we say European side. We say Avrupa yakası.
Avrupa.
For Asian side, we say Anadolu yakası. We use the term yaka, which means also color
Oh.
or side.
Okay. Good. All right. Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap up? Maybe something that we've missed. Something it would be good to know for our listeners.
Well, keep away from taxi drivers. We don't have Uber, but there are many telephone numbers which give taxi service, illegal but safe.
Okay.
Just keep away from taxi drivers. Yellow taxis, no.
Then how to move? How to travel? Metrobus?
Metrobus, metro, buses, even this kind of taxis you can use, but not yellow taxis. They'll cheat you because they're looking for tourists only, not locals. They don't accept local people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Good.
it's good to know.
Hakan, thank you so much for
You're
sharing
welcome.
all
You're
of this.
welcome. I thank you very much.
Yeah, and we've spent many hours yesterday talking about Turkey, but still we've learned some new things about Turkey.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, you might enjoy our conversation with Puyan Mughadam about Iran. Here's the preview trailer.
500 years ago, we had a king. His name was Shah Abbas. And Shah Abbas decided to make 1,000 caravanserai in area of Iran. But finally, he constructed 999 caravanserai, not 1,000. Why? Because as belief of himself, 1,000 is a very complete number, is the number of God. And because of that, he decided to construct only 999 of caravanserai. In carpet would be similar. And even carpet, the symbol of carpet is a very symbolical design in Iran. Most of the carpet in Iran, if you look at for example, the design, you can see a center in it. For example, a flower in the center. And this flower in the center is the sign of God too. And even carpet, most of the carpet show the paradise, want to show the paradise with some symbolic flower, with symbolic shapes. And yes, it's right completely. That some of them, they put some mistake in it to show that it is handmade, not made by God.